Hello there, welcome back. This is Indriani Shai. I also go by Natsumi or Chin Shang, and I want to integrate mindfulness, breathing practices back into my YouTube presentations. Originally intended for my students, my little elementary school students. However, my videos are accessible for all ages. So while I talk about whatever issue I'm presenting, I would love to invite you to breathe with me, to take a moment to settle the mind. Whatever you're doing, we can take just a moment to focus on the breath or whatever. If you have a meditation topic already, just take a moment with me for the earth and for each other to ground ourselves, to focus, to refine the mind, to remove some of the clutter in our minds, and to breathe. So I've had a long week of work. I'm exhausted, but I wanted to record this video for you, for me, for our children, for the non-human animals on the planet, for the world. And so let's take a moment to breathe with each other. Sitting upright, finding a upright posture while simultaneously relaxing as many muscles as you can. Aligning your ears and your shoulders. Deep breath in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And if your mind is more subtle and more still, you can breathe exclusively through your nose. Feeling your belly going up and down, in and out with each breath. Bringing a gentle awareness to the present moment. Allowing yourself to let go of ideas of the future, ideas of the past, just to dwell in stillness. A couple more full breaths. So, thank you for joining me. What I want to talk about today is the pandemic, issues surrounding the pandemic and non-human animal welfare, as well as the welfare for ourselves, for all beings here. And this is actually a reaction to Earthling Ed's posting, the pandemic that could have been prevented, in parentheses, with Mike the vegan. I haven't finished the whole video, but I've listened to the majority of it to get the gist, and it's wow, to say the least. Basically, what they are positing or pointing toward, because this is apparently scientific evidence at this point, that most major viruses, and including this one, the pandemic, very likely have been caused by non-human animal agriculture. So that's like, factory farming, or it sounds like they tested in China and found that the fishery or fishing area also seemed to indicate to have COVID. So the idea being that these viruses that are very, very potent, lethal for humans, are actually caused by the food that you're eating. So chickens, pigs, cows, all of these come from places that where animals are kept in captivity and are left in horrible conditions, very horrible conditions. We're talking about things you can't even fully imagine, I'm sure. You need to watch the videos yourself to actually understand it. That they are like in their own blood, they are in their own pus, they are not taken care of medically. There are like billions, millions of creatures in the same spaces. And so it's like the perfect breeding ground for viruses to develop. And these viruses are transmitted to other creatures outside of these factory farms or animal agriculture locations. And eventually they reach humans. And because we're in a globalized society, it is easily transmitted across the world. And so that leaves us in this situation we're in. I highly recommend you listen to this talk. I'll try to provide a link in this video below for the pandemic that could have been prevented by EarthlingNet. I also recommend you check out the rest of his videos. He has so much to say. He's very educated, very insightful individual, has a lot to say about, well, a lot of things, but focusing on the issue of animal welfare, non-human individual welfare, and how it relates to all of these different aspects of our lives. So what's so sad, I mean, it's sad on so many levels. What's sad is that if everybody ate a plant-based diet, it would have so many positive effects. So many. So they're positing that we could have prevented this pandemic if people had been eaten plant-based and not forcing all of these non-human animals into captivity, unnecessary captivity, where they're slaughtered and abused. We could be healthier. So plant-based diets have been shown to be the best diet, the most effective, and possibly the only effective diet to reverse heart disease. There's a lot of information on that as well if you would like to find some. So if you eat a plant-based diet, you could help feed those who cannot be fed in the world. Most of the grains, most soy products, most of this, there's so much food that is being fed for the animal agriculture industry. That means, so for example, there are soy products, there are grains that are being fed to millions of cows, millions of pigs, and that's so that you, the public, can be fed whatever, KFC, Burger King, whatever nicely packaged animal body you find at a grocery store. So you can be fed these things. All of this food that could be fed to homeless people, or let me rephrase, houseless people, or people in poverty across the world, all of that food that's being fed to your food, which is cows, pigs, chickens, etc., could be fed to them. So we could actually end world hunger by being vegan. So there's that. So we could prevent pandemics, could prevent world hunger, but we could prevent deforestation. The majority of deforestation is from the animal agriculture industry. Oh my gosh. So we have all these environmentalists working towards protecting the environments, right? To stopping deforestation. But the best thing we can do to end deforestation is to be vegan. We can grow crops that are, I can't remember how they say it. It's a new contemporary method of farming. It's basically go up rather than across. Or we could have smaller, each of us could grow our own gardens. I think that's a much better alternative, is self-sustainability. But, with contemporary society and having the number of people we probably have to use contemporary technologies to grow the amount of produce we need. But it would definitely be better than factory farms and the fishing industry that exists, for sure. Okay, so we have that. We could also end deforestation. So protecting our trees, protecting the air, protecting our earth. So in our health. But most of all, we would be protecting the individuals, the sentient creatures who are suffering, who are crying out in pain, who are yelling and screaming for our help, but who we ignore. It is so obvious that no cow, no chicken, no pig, no fish wants to be killed. They are very much like us. They are like us. They are probably they were probably our brothers, sisters, mothers, whatever, lovers in our past lives, if you believe in rebirth or reincarnation. But even setting that aside, they're obviously sentient beings. Sentient beings who are crying out for our help if we pay attention at all. So most of all, we would be helping them. We could end their suffering by simply switching to a plant-based diet, which is better for your health, better for the environment, better for preventing pandemics that kill all humans, that will probably kill all humans eventually. So we have all these positive benefits from going to a plant-based diet. Please do it. It really is not too much to give up in the grand scheme of things. It'll be better for the future, for our children, for our grandchildren. Like, there will be no planet for humans if we keep this up. There is no sustainable meat eating, animal eating. We cannot continue eating animal bodies, period, the way we are, to protect this world for everybody, all creatures, the whole earth. I'm going to close this session with a song. I will play the flute right now on behalf of all sentient beings, and I pray it reaches the ears of those who are suffering. I pray it reaches those who are helpless, who need our protection. I hope it reaches you, and that you find some positivity from my offering, my indigenous offering, that inspires you to take this step forward in your consciousness on your spiritual path, that elevates your consciousness so that you can transition to a healthier diet that will help everybody. May all beings be free and at ease, and may you be free and at ease, free of suffering.